So a few weeks ago, Great Escape Games announced that they will be releasing a new two-player starter set for the Chicago Way, and this is going to feature the Peaky Blinders and the Police. Now, a couple of years ago, I decided that the Chicago Way was a great set of rules and would be perfect for recreating the scenes that we saw in the Peaky Blinders TV series. So I started and put together my own factions for Peaky Blinders, and I will be doing a showcase video of what I've already created, the three factions I've already created. That video will be coming out on Wednesday. But today I thought it would be good to do a short video on creating the fourth faction that I'd planned years ago and never got round to completing. So today I'm going to be looking at painting the figures for this faction, and next Sunday I'm going to be taking a look at a couple of additional terrain pieces / vehicles that I'll be using for this faction as well. So if Peaky Blinders is of interest to you, then definitely keep on watching. So without further ado, let's go down to the workbench and let's check out this new faction.
And welcome to the workbench. So here we have the 5 figures that I've chosen to do the next faction. And you might be asking, what is the next faction? Ultimately, all the factions I've done so far for Peaky Blinders are based on Series 1. So I've done the Shelby Gang, I've done some police as a police gang or force, and I have done the gangster or the sort of competition for the Shelbys from Series 1. And of course, in the classic style, I have forgotten the name of the faction, and I will look that up and I will mention that in the next segment of this video. But today I'm going to be focusing on essentially the gypsies, the travellers who are friends with the Shelbys. Certainly in later series they've become very close and very much allies of the Shelbys. But in Series 1, I think it starts out a little bit rough and they ultimately become friends. So the figures that I've got here in front of me today come from Wargames Foundry. Certainly the 4, not the one on the left. I can't remember where he might be a Footsore Miniatures from their sort of 1930s, 1940s civilians. But the 4 from right to left, minus the one on the left, those are Wargames Foundry figures, and they come from the Victorian Edwardian range. And these specifically, these 4 are from the Farm Workers range. Now, I've glued them to coins. The next thing I'm going to do is put some basing material on these using a little bit of PVA. I use Mod Podge, but essentially it's all the same. And then I'll sprinkle some sharp sand over these. Once I've done that, I'm going to take them outside and I'm going to prime them in a grey, light grey colour using just a Halford's spray can. And then we'll come back and we'll jump into a time lapse to show me painting these figures. The colours I'm going to use for these figures, because they are travellers, gypsies, they are going to be fairly earth tone colours. But I might throw a bit of colour in there just to make it a little bit different. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on with this. We'll jump into the time lapse next of me painting them, and then we'll come back at the end, probably over on the other table with the turntable and do it as a bit of a showcase part. So I'll be back in just a flash, and you enjoy the time lapse. Okay, so here we are with the final figures. Hopefully you enjoyed the time lapse and you've got a bit of an idea about the craziness of how I paint figures. But I think these have come out really nicely, and we've got the chap in the middle. I think he's definitely going to be the sort of boss of the faction, and then we've got a few others. I'm going to assume that they're armed either with pistols or with some sort of club, that sort of thing, maybe a knife, something like that. But I think this faction will be quite fun, and I'll definitely look to put some scenarios together which will involve them. So up next, I think we are best to probably, once again, use the manual turntable, but to get an all-round look of these figures and see how they've come out. So let's do that now. I'll get some music playing because I'm going to have to put all my effort into turning and won't be able to talk at the same time. So here we go. So there we go, the final images of this gang. I'm so pleased to have finally got round to finishing them off, and I would encourage you, if you've got some figures that haven't seen the light of day for some time, go back and get them out and have a go at painting them, because it really is a really lovely feeling to get some figures that you've had sitting around for ages finally painted, and obviously when you get them on the table, even better. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode, then do check out my video on Wednesday, where I will be showcasing not only my Peaky Blinders gang, not only the Coppers gang, but also the third gang, which I mentioned earlier, which I can reveal now to you as being the Billy Kimber gang from season 1 of Peaky Blinders. So check out that video on Wednesday. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.